Good evening once again. More Western New Yorkers have had their guns confiscated by police in the last year than ever before.
Yeah, and while that may sound unsettling, it means that a state law designed to keep weapons away from potentially dangerous people is apparently working.
But is it a perfect system? That's what we're diving into tonight. How exactly are red flag laws keeping you and your family safe?
There is a lot to unpack here when it comes to those red flag laws. It has been around in New York State since 2019. It bans people who may become a threat to themselves or others from buying or owning guns. But it really came to our community's attention in the days after the Tops mass shooting.
The man who killed 10 people at the Jefferson Avenue store was known to police but never flagged. That allowed him legal access to the guns that he used.
Over the next several weeks, our 7 News I-team discovered serious flaws with the underutilized system. At the time, the state did not have a database of people who were flagged, which kept law enforcement, prosecutors, and even schools in the dark. After our I-team report, the state rolled out a database during the summer of 2022.
Which allows us access to information just like this. Over the past 12 months, red flag orders have been filed against 630 Western New Yorkers. Erie County makes up more than 270 of those. This data includes both temporary and final risk protection orders, but the term final can be pretty misleading. They only last for 1 year, and a judge must approve any renewal.
It is a complicated system that involves a lot of people in a lot of steps. 7 News reporter Taylor Epps has gathered those expert voices to walk us through the state of red flag laws in 2024.
And they include anti-violence advocates, optimistic about the impact so far, prosecutors who say higher numbers don't tell the whole story here, and law enforcement, very familiar with this painstaking process.
And so we strive every day to make sure that we don't fail and that things don't slip through the cracks.
It's long nights and a lot of paperwork for Detective Richard Lumberg and his new behavioral threat assessment team with the Erie County Sheriff's Office.
It's a very delicate balance between looking at someone's behavior and also being respectful of their civil liberties. To do these cases, you have to figure out where a person is on their pathway to violence.
And if they are on that path, Lumberg's team will apply for an extreme risk protection order, part of the state's red flag law, which, if approved by a judge, allows them to take weapons away from people they see as a threat to our community. Something they've done dozens of times over the past year and a half, seizing 116 firearms since October 2022.
We've filled an important gap, especially since the top shooting on May 14th.
And it's not just them. The law was strengthened after the mass shooting at the Tops on Jefferson Avenue, and law enforcement agencies statewide are filing these red flag orders more often. You can see it here, numbers skyrocketing since 2022. So what are these cases?
A number of our cases do involve schools. Thanks to the students, faculty, parents reporting the behavior, we were able to intervene, secure firearms. The other topic that really doesn't get spoken about is suicide prevention.
Now, Detective Lumberg tells me it's not just about taking guns away, but also making sure people get the help they need. I also talked about this to Erie County District Attorney Don Flynn. He tells me now that people know the red flag law exists, they're buying in, and that's why these numbers are up. But he says the system is far from perfect.
There's obviously some concerns that I have in looking at the numbers myself. I'm not sure how accurate the data is.
In fact, the sheriff's office tells me a lot of the orders you see here are not even from their office. Now, back in 2022, we asked the DA if he can see who has been red flagged, and he said no.
Do you now have access, and are you able to find out who's on these lists?
No, because on the database, there's no names at all.
These orders are also temporary. They only last 1 year, and after that year, it's gone.
Once a year comes by, it's sealed now, and no one now has the ability to look at it anymore at all.
But all in all, he says things are much better than they were before the Tops mass shooting.
If we keep the momentum up and we keep doing our due diligence, I'm hopeful that this will prevent another mass shooting, God willing.
The May 14th shooting caught the attention of David Pacino, legal director of the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence.
The more that we learned about the shooter, the more it seemed like there was a process failure that had taken place, that information was out there, could have been known.
But he tells me now that more people know the red flag law exists, it's doing its job.
While it was really excellent in a lot of ways. It was underutilized. And so there were steps made to make sure that it would be used more properly in more instances. And I think we'll see a benefit accruing of lives saved, frankly, in years to come.
Which helps bring gun violence down nationwide.
We're in a better place now, but there's still a lot more work that needs to be done.
But what's the impact here in our community?
Anytime that we can keep weapons out of abusers' hands, it's by default keeping survivors safe.
Ava Thomas, Director of Operations for the Family Justice Center, says this is another tool they can use to prevent domestic violence.
Are you surprised to hear that the number of these orders has gone up?
No, not at all. I think it's a long time coming for this to be pushed out into the public and really be on display, as this is an avenue to help protect people.
I think the community should feel reassured that our first priority when we do these investigations is everyone's safety, including that of the person we're investigating.
Now, Detective Lundberg really stressed, too, that they know this is a big deal, right? Asking the court to really violate someone's Second Amendment rights. So when these orders are filed, it takes time and they do need reasonable cause. And the goal here is to protect your rights as much as possible and keep us all safe. It's really a huge deal to think about. You know, it's only been 5 years that this has been on the books, but it could really save lives here.
And we talked a little bit about this. There are steps here, right, that are working, but very much still a work in progress.
Yeah, when you go through the data, it's a little funky. You see some numbers that look out of place, and you know, it's a step in the right direction, because to not know who was on these lists and not have any access to these numbers is like, huh? So now at least we're on top of it, and hopefully we get somewhere where we know exactly what's going on.
Important work. We're happy that you're following it.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.